Hi, I'm Sonny Bhatt, and you are listening to Facial Recognition's podcast. Is that totally improvised? This is why they don't cast me in anything.
No, it's just every time people drop the comedy, but it's like an inside joke at this point. It doesn't matter.
Nobody remembers the comedy.
But it's implied.
No, I guess so.
Yeah.
It's implied. Yeah. Hi, everyone.
You should know by now.
This is Zara.
This is Pallavi.
And this is Sunny again.
And Fizza is really busy.
She's
busy. It's pilot season. She's too busy.
She's getting booked.
Auditioning. Booked.
Blessed.
I've also never met her.
Blessed. You haven't?
No.
Really?
You're the only one now.
I feel like... Now. Okay, so Sunny and I have known each other for several years now.
5 or so.
Has it been 5? Because I met you when I first moved out here from New York to LA, and you were here.
Yeah.
Comedian.
He's a comedian, great stand-up comedian.
Thank you.
And then he went back to Chicago.
Yes.
And then you just came back, like literally
Buster Baxter.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Buster Baxter.
Yeah. And then
Buster Baxter
went away and he came back. So yeah. So I went back to Chicago, and then that was good because I ended up actually booking things out there.
What?
Yeah, I did a movie called Holla.
Oh,
cool. It's Jada Pinkett Smith's movie. It's on like Apple TV.
Go watch it.
The Pinkett Smiths?
Watch it. Yeah, so like
He's in that
that
camp.
was good. Like I didn't expect that back in Chicago. I was like, that's not gonna happen, but shit worked out.
Sonny's very bookable. You've seen him. You've probably seen him all over the world in print Chase ads.
Oh yeah.
Chase
When I was
Bank.
on all the Chase
He's
banks.
that guy. He's the guy in
That's
all
dope.
the Chase banks.
crazy-
He looks trustworthy.
mortgage
The
loans.
crazy thing was we actually did that whole shoot in 2016, but they put it out in 2018
Yeah.
and like 19. And
But
I was
you
like,
were
"How come
literally
so long?"
everywhere.
Shit takes time, man.
You were
Yeah,
literally
clearly.
everywhere. You were that guy. You're like, I want to give this guy a mortgage. Like,
Yeah.
you look like that guy.
The best part was when they first put it out in 2017, they cut me out. Like I was not
then they
in
were
the
like,
photo. Like I was half in the photo. My arm was in the photo. I still got paid for it.
And
so
then
it worked
that's
out.
like
That's
Minaj
like-
blew up. And then it's like, all right, we can use this look
Yeah.
again.
That's like like white people in my family dates. You get cut out at
Cut out.
first, and then you have to prove yourself.
They get a pass. White people get a pass in families. I
In
think.
families?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
in Desi families, white people get a
They're
pass.
just excited about the kids being fairer
Yeah,
skinned.
that's what
That's
it is.
very true. Colorism
it
is
is.
a real thing.
Oh, the worst
They're
is
like,
though.
it overpowers the
I'll say the
cultural.
worst is like the parent of the Desi child who's married the white person.
Yeah.
Because they feel like they got the privilege now.
Yeah,
Also, no,
yeah.
you don't.
that's true.
All of a sudden, all this English comes out, and you're like, it's still bad.
Yeah.
I knew I had family friends back in Jersey whose their parents were pissed that none of them brought home white people. They're like, we expected one of you to bring home a white
What
girl.
did we come
like,
to this country
'cause
for?
They were very like upwardly mobile and like they joined the country club and stuff and they were like, okay, like and they tried real hard for all their children to like to find white people to bring into the family. But
This is why the Asians were on the white people's side and Get Out. We are just
Yeah.
selling out
Oh my god.
yeah.
to get up there.
Yeah, we're willing to do anything.
My mom, my parents were pretty practical about like who I could like fall in love with and marry and stuff. They were like, well, we came to this country and had you guys, so like it's likely that you'll bring someone else home. But they always thought it would be like better if I was with the brown person.
Yeah.
So my mom at one point she was like she was putting her jewelry away or something. And she's like, see all this jewelry? I'll give it to you if you like marry a brown person, an Indian
Bribing
person.
you?
And then I was like, who are you gonna give it to if I don't? And then she mentioned my brother's white girlfriend. She's like, I'll give it to her. And I was like, what? How is this fair at all? You're just
That's
giving it
not
to white
cool.
people.
Either way. Okay.
This is why colonization happened.
They love it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Were your parents strict, Sonny, growing up? Were they like, did they have requirements for you on who you
the
can
thing
marry?
with me was I had 2 older sisters already, and like
so they fucked up enough.
Yeah, exactly.
For
So that when I
you.
was a kid, yeah, and I don't know, it was just really awkward. I never mentioned going out with girls to them. It was just something I never did, and then I finally did, and then it worked out. They liked it, and they were fine. They never had any kind of like restriction, but then
That's
because I
good.
never mentioned anything for them to restrict to. So,
But did you not mention anything because you didn't want to have to explain or like deal
Yeah.
with the whole?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But I mean, they still always had this go to India and get married kind of thing, and I'm like, do
Oh,
you guys
really?
not know me at all? Like, what part of me looks like I'm gonna go to India and get married?
That's how I feel. Anytime like anyone in the family is like, I have this nice Sindhi boy for you. I'm like, look at my listen to my words,
Yeah.
see my Facebook. You're on there. What part of that makes you think we'd be compatible?
Maybe if she was a comedian in India.
Still different type
No,
of comedy.
Still wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Right? Very different setups and punchlines. I think.
They're very, very long setups and very, very long punchlines in India, just like the Bollywood movies that they watch.
There's a song between the punchlines.
Yeah.
Like a song and dance, and
Yeah.
3.5 hours later, oh yeah, that's funny.
But the stand up there is improving, and I like that.
It is.
Well,
Like
it's so
their scene
new.
is getting better.
It
It's
is
only
so
10 years
new.
old.
but
It
their
is
scene
so
seems to be
new.
mimicking what we're doing.
They're all
but
mimicking
stand-up
what
was-
we're doing.
stand-up
Yeah.
was started here, right? In the U.S.?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like
Yeah, for
everybody's
sure.
mimicking what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean,
Like their whole structure, their style is definitely what it is now. But like compared to like what it was before, like in the '90s and stuff like that, it was just like a whole bunch of imitations.
yeah,
It was
but there's
just-
still a lot of, I mean, stand-up is evolving, so people's like appetite for comedy is getting bigger,
Mm-hmm.
but their sense of comedy and their sense of humor is very different. Like people still enjoy in India, and especially my parents' generation, I'm seeing they still enjoy some of that vaudeville type
yes,
of comedy.
the
like,
guy dressed up as a chick.
yeah,
Yeah, it's very
that,
British.
hilarious.
It's very British.
and then
Because
like,
he's wearing dresses. Do you get
yeah,
it?
he's wearing a
Yeah.
sari.
He's
It's like,
wearing a
hey.
sari.
He's
But they-
sorry. It's
they
a
love,
dude.
They love that when it's on stage, but in real life, they're
Oh
like,
yeah,
no.
yeah. If you see the guy outside, then all
And
of a
our
sudden we're
family's
like,
a
No.
joke.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting.
But then we got a lot of good comics coming from there, like Veer Das.
Yeah,
Veer Das is
very
doing a lot of
funny.
stuff, and
Killing
he's very
it.
funny. You know, so that's
Yo,
stuff
What
I-
bothers
happening
me
there.
is when American comics imitate comedy.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
know, like, when they have the cadence of it, and then
Like
like
when?
there's no like material there. It's just
Oh,
like the
premises?
comedy cadence. It's like just how they talk when they
Oh,
get on.
okay.
It sounds like they're acting like a comedian.
Yeah,
that bugs the
usually-
shit out of me.
Yeah, I
there
know, I
are
know.
some comics where you can tell right away like who their comedy influence is when they're on stage.
Yeah.
Or even, I mean, we've been doing it so long and we see the same people, like
Yeah.
30, 40 people do stand up all the time,
Yeah.
like every night. You can tell who their friends are in comedy too. Because
Yeah.
everybody has like similar voice and cadences and how they do different things. And it's like, oh, I need, and that's when I'm like, okay, I need to get out of LA so I don't turn into
I know.
like,
that's,
you know.
That's why I like that flying out of here and going back to Chicago. I'm sure you know when you go back to New York, where you kind of see a difference.
I'm a different person in New York.
Yeah, yeah,
You've
I'm a
seen
different-
it. Like
I'm
I just because I think I'm from there, so there's like some sort of level of comfort.
Yeah.
where I can.
You're like that person
say-
who like doesn't work at that location anymore or like at that store, but then when you go there, you act like you
Get the
work
employee
here.
discount.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like going back to New York. I would still not live there unless they pay
Oh,
me a
interesting.
whole lot
A
of
whole lot
money.
of money, or if you're doing a
A
show.
whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Interesting.
Would you go back to Chicago
Again.
I would. I like to be like
again?
I like to be like Vince Vaughn. You know, like all his movies, like he shoots it there. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
From there.
Yeah.
know
Absolutely.
that.
If I got the power to like pick where the movie's gonna be filmed, I'm gonna pick Chicago every time.
What's
mean-
the last Vince Vaughn movie?
I don't know.
It's been a minute, right?
It has
The
been. I don't-
Internship? What is
I
that?
think maybe.
It might have been
Damn,
the internship.
that's a while ago.
Maybe.
But this guy's made so much money. Does he
Yeah.
really need to make more? I mean, and all these celebrities have their own production companies, so their
Yeah.
money's making them more money.
That's true.
That's true.
They don't
That's
really
true.
need to act or be on screen. Because if you think about it, in an industry that really values youth,
Mm-hmm.
once you become like that old, bloated guy, you know, you're
gotta pick
funny
a
as
role.
fuck. You can still like be behind the scenes, and Hollywood will still embrace you. But it's like, all right, who's new blood now?
What about
Who-
Adam
I wanna
Sandler?
I
Isn't
wanna
he
force
60?
my way. He's like, no, he's in his at least 50 or
He's
50s.
50s. is
like
he?
mid to late 50s, I think.
Really?
To late
He's
50s?
like
mid
mid 50s.
50s.
He's
Probably
like
mid 50s.
J Lo and them and Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler. They're all like around the
Dennis-
same age. They
and
all
J Lo was 51.
No, he's 53.
He's 53. Yeah, so like they're
Mid-50s,
early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I want to be a bloated man in front of camera. Fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you-
men get to be
I'm gonna be.
bloated in
I
front
don't
of
give
the
a
camera.
shit. I'll be bloated. I'm only gonna shoot on my period days.
I wonder if
don't
that would
think about it.
translate. If
I
that would
would-
translate in India. You know, they have the guys dressing
Yeah.
up in saris. Like if you were like dressed up in the guys thing.
Yeah.
Is that funny to them too?
I don't think it's as funny to them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I just so I did this show last night from it's called Dishoom Dishoom.
Oh, really?
It was really fun. It was put on by our friends Milan Patel and
nice.
Neeraj Srinivasan.
I love those guys.
I love those guys. It was a really fun concept. So they basically took like a few clips from this like Tamil movie.
Uh-huh.
And it was hilarious. They had this like Indian uncle playing a robot, but he's like a full-on uncle, like bloated.
Wow.
Bloated uncle. Looks like he shops at Costco, you know, like standard Indian dad looking guy. And he's like flying around, has like magnetic force powers because he's like a robot and he's trying to save the world from
Was it
like
Rajnikant?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
He's
was
friends with
Rajnikant?
my family.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah,
Who's
he's come to
Rajnikant?
like family weddings. That's why I was going to bring him up. He's like the most famous South Indian actor who's been the most famous for decades.
years, but he's
and
like-
he's old as fuck and he looks crazy.
Old, bloated.
Flew in on a
You don't think-
helicopter.
I don't know-
Uncle dude, but he's making
know if-
millions still in front of the camera. And who was his female counterpart?
Aishwarya
Some
Rai?
hot chick. No, her
It's
name was Amy
probably-
Jackson.
Okay.
We're still not convinced that she's Indian.
Yeah.
Her name's
Amy
Amy
Jackson?
You know, clearly
That's
that's
the
his
name
name.
of this
she's like
actress.
she's like Christian
She's
Tamil.
a really hot
Yeah.
chick. She's a really hot chick.
They always are, and,
like
like,
in her
guys
20s.
always-
And
That's,
yeah.
But it's so funny to me because I'm like, is it more progressive? Because like Bollywood has like light skinned people who are like in shape, you know, like abs and stuff. And then South Indian movies, it's like, it's still this, like the women still have the standard, but then the dudes can be like fat and shit. Like they all look like my
Well,
dad. Like
the
they all have
South
mustaches.
India is on
bald.
its own thing. Like I don't know
It's-
what they're doing.
yeah,
down
it's their
there.
own thing.
You know, like Hindi cinema is not doing that. You know what I mean?
Hindi
like, they're-
cinema, the guys are like really hot.
They're like,
They're getting there.
It's like
They're
normal.
ripped.
They're
No,
better.
There were some
They're
like
ripped
really
now.
muscular.
Rithik was
ripped-
like ripped.
Rithik was
Rithik's
like my
always
first
ripped.
Indian
Yeah, he's always
Bollywood
been
crush.
ripped.
Yeah.
Me too.
I had like a huge like Doom 3 poster.
Oh my God, I loved
I
Doom.
loved it so much.
Yeah.
I
loved
just
it.
loved him. I
Yeah.
loved him and his extra thumb. I just loved everything.
It took
about
me a
it.
while to figure out that he had two thumbs because there was this movie that he
3.
did that was like E.T. kind of.
Oh,
and there were-
Krish.
Chris.
and
no,
like no.
Koi Mil Gaya.
Was it Koi Mil Gaya?
I don't-
Koi Mil Gaya is the
When he
first one. Then
reached out,
Krish came
and then
after
Krish
that,
was
and then there
the-
was a Krish. There were two.
But was it Krish too?
It
and
started
then-
with Koi Mil Gaya, then he
But they-
became Krish in Koi Mil Gaya, and then they had the
Yeah,
Krish.
so they were sequels.
But
Yeah.
there was that one
Yeah.
scene where he like reached out to the alien and the alien had two thumbs
They
and
had
he
the
had two
same
thumbs
hands.
and I didn't know. I thought it was like part of the movie and
Yeah.
then later I like looked him up and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
This dude,
dude.
they wrote it into the movie.
Yeah.
You know the thing with Rajnikant though, he is completely bald.
Yeah.
And he walks around bald, but when he does a movie, he has the full head of hair
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
time. Like he has no
Yeah.
sort of regard of I'm going to put on a wig outside.
Yo,
no.
Desies are very advanced with that stuff. Like
Oh.
it's like you could people
This
are
is
doing
him and
that.
my cousin.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh my
There
god.
you go.
My
Oh, wow,
cousin's
look,
wedding.
He is like fully bald.
He's
He
fully
flew
bald,
in
I'm
on a
telling you,
fucking
dude.
helicopter to
Of
my
course
cousin's
he
wedding.
And he used to do this trick back in like the 80s movies, like where he would have like a cigarette and he'd just like toss it and like catch in his mouth.
Yeah.
That was his thing.
I
He'd
love the
toss
Those
it.
are some
special
fun
effects.
reflexes.
Yeah.
I love.
Oh
there
my
was
God.
one moment in Doom where like somebody they were like hanging off the back of a truck and they did a backflip onto the truck and I was like, this is against the laws of physics,
yeah.
but it was so fun. It's so fun.
Physics.
So I
Don't apply
remember
something to it.
in
No, that
Doom-
was a Bollywood movie.
It was a Bollywood
Doom.
movie.
Doom, probably the last one.
No, I think that was the first
I think
one.
it was-
But
I
they,
don't
I mean,
know.
like they still do that in the Bollywood movies, but they're like smoother about it. But then
Yeah,
in
yeah,
South
yeah.
Indian movies, they just like don't give a fuck
And the thing
They
is,
don't
that-
care about the laws of physics
at all.
and we get
Which
the
is
best
surprising
physicians.
because
Given
there's
how
a lot of
studious
great
they are.
physicists.
yeah.
Great physicists.
They're
The movies don't give a fuck about
No,
science.
No,
They just
they're like, I want a full escape from this.
They're fun movies, though. They've gotten better. Like they've definitely improved out of their,
They
I
also
think
were, like,
everyone's on
so
a workout
good.
regimen. Everyone's on a workout
you gotta be,
regimen.
yeah.
Everyone's like looking so hot.
everything but knowing how to act.
Yes,
But
Swimming,
like
horse riding,
the
everything.
production,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all of the resume stuff that we lie about that they all have, but
Yeah.
they can't.
They can't act. They can't do the job.
But
It
I
is
love the
surprising to
production
me how
value
much
of
they
it,
can
though.
act.
It's always been like
Yeah.
huge.
Have you guys heard about the whole problem with Indian cinema and like the nepotism?
Oh,
yeah. But
It's
that's
families.
also today here in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just don't hear
Yeah.
about it because they changed their last
Yeah,
names.
and then those
shit.
guys over there
Yeah.
are saying that no, that's not a thing. We still struggle.
Like,
It's no, you don't.
isn't Nicolas Cage a Coppola?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and Drew Barrymore
Drew
is a
Barrymore.
Coppola as well. And
There's
Yeah.
so many.
there's like
families.
basically like 4 or 5 Hollywood families,
Mm-hmm.
and that have all extended based on marriages and stuff too.
Yeah.
And
It's like
then-
it's like hotel.
But it's still
hotel
easier to make it
families.
here,
Yeah.
not being part of any family, than it is in India.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
Good
isn't as
luck,
much
dude.
nepotism
Good
here
luck.
as there is in India. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because it's one of those things where,
I mean, Hrithik Roshan is like
But he
he's
li- he
famous
lived
because
up.
of his dad.
yeah, he lived up.
What did his dad do?
His dad was
He's a
an actor.
filmmaker,
Okay,
actor
okay.
/ filmmaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and his
Yeah.
uncle is too.
Yeah.
He does,
Yeah, yeah.
does music and produces.
But
And
Hrithik
then-
was like a superstar.
Yeah, he was like designed
He was designed
to
to do
be
that.
an actor.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Who has eyes and hair like
I
that?
know!
Who?
His
Where
dad.
is-
His dad.
His dad
Yeah.
has no hair. This is the funniest thing. Look at his dad's photos.
No, but his
No hair.
Hrithik looks exactly like
Like his dad, yeah, from
with
the eyes.
hair.
Yeah, yeah, when
So
his dad
I'm
has the
pretty
wig on.
sure there's
Yeah.
some, like
Yeah.
Salman Khan. We all know had hair plugs. You know, we probably know Shah Rukh.
Transplants.
Yeah.
Don't say anything
Or
about Salman. He
transplants.
might take a hit out on you.
It's fine. He's all the way across the. It's fine. I've met Salman Khan before. He was actually pretty nice. Shah Rukh Khan was kind of a moron.
Really?
Shah Rukh Khan was
wasn't.
kind of a moron. Well, it's also I met him. There was like a film. Something was
He
filming.
does look like its dad.
And they were on
It's
set.
there.
Yeah, they look
It's
exactly
there. If you look
alike.
at a younger photo of.
They look exactly alike. They're the same person.
That's beautiful.
They're clones of each other. Yeah. So yeah, Shah Rukh, I saw him. He was filming something in my college town. He was filming
Kalhona?
not Galhona Ho. Actually Galhona Ho, and there was one more after that. Kabhi Alvida Na
Oh,
Kahna.
yeah.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
that
Both of
movie,
those,
yeah.
both of those were filmed in my college town. So it was like one movie right after another. So 1
Right.
year after another. So he was both times I was able to like get near where he was.
Yeah.
And I guess there was just so many fans around him. And this guy is a chain smoker.
Yeah, for sure.
And the only place he could find to exhale his cigarette smoke
Was
was
you.
on my face. Both times, I just have something about my face.
That was it?
Says,
That's what
give
did
me
it?
It's
cancer.
like, yeah, sure, I'll
So-
take your secondhand smoke, sure.
But like, man, I hope I'm one day at that position where like I'm so annoyed by the people around, like the amount
Yeah.
of fans and whatnot. Like, oh, leave me
Do you-
alone.
People
You
think
really
he's a
want that?
god.
You really want that many fans?
Yes, I want to hate
You want
fans.
people
I want to be
think
that famous.
you want people to think that you're a god. Like people think Shah Rukh is a god.
Dude, okay, so Indian actor prestige versus American actor prestige
Totally
are
different.
completely different.
Yeah.
Totally
things.
different, yeah.
Like
They
it's,
love tearing down American actors. Like they love like the celebrity like gossip and the drama
Right.
and like watching them
Right.
fall from grace. I think in India they like them as gods.
yes,
Yeah,
they're
because
definitely
I-
valued.
Because in
We're-
America,
Differently.
we
Yes.
have this. We're like trained in this mentality that like we can make it. If you work hard enough, you
Yeah.
can make it,
Well, who's
right?
president?
And so many of us don't make it, and then we hate the people who made it to the top because
Yeah.
there's so many of these like great success stories,
Right,
right?
right.
So you're like, that could have been me.
Yeah.
I could have done that, you know. So there's a lot of that. But in India, because of all the nepotism and because of I think the caste system and like the position that you're born
Yeah,
in, you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, maybe not this lifetime, you know.
or the
So-
what is it called? Like when you get married, the dowry.
Dowry? Yeah, dowry.
That's
yeah.
still a problem there. How
Yeah.
could that still be a like?
I don't know. This is a question for because Muslims don't have the dowry thing.
At all?
No, I mean it's
No?
become with Desi Muslims. It's become a thing because we inherited it from
India and the movies and
with
shit.
the Indian with like the migration of the Muslims and the Muslims like really integrating themselves with the Hindus. There's a lot of cultural things that are very similar. So we've gotten the dowry concept, but in actual Islam, like the man, like the daughter's dad, he doesn't owe you anything. In fact, if you want my daughter, you have to
You
let me
give-
know what
yeah.
you're giving me.
Ah.
What are you providing me for my daughter?
More logical,
So
I
it's like
guess.
the other way around. But yeah,
Even
so-
that though, no one should be given anything.
I don't know. I
But
mean,
you know, a lot of people
if
rely
you're-
on that because what they do is
Yeah.
they have like they have a son and they have a daughter.
Yeah.
So when the son gets married, they are trying to get things from like his wife's family.
Yeah.
And then whatever they get, they're gonna give to like the daughter's
barter
cousin.
system.
Yeah.
Everybody's just trading shit.
Yes, and valued. It's ridiculous. I've actually been to like an arranged marriage meeting. And it was the most
before.
awkward fucking thing ever. Like I wasn't part of it, but like I went to
I would have gotten up on like a podium and been like $5, $5.
Yeah.
Just start like
like an
auctioneering.
auctioneer.
I've been to a few of these too, and they get a little insane.
But it wasn't
Yeah.
for me. Like I went to
for
India with
somebody
my
else.
cousin. Yeah, in 2014, and my sister-in-law, her brother lives in India, and like he is older than her. You know, so they've been like really like trying to get him married, and he's like, I don't want to get married right now, but they've been like just trying to get him married. So, anyways, like the girl's family was over, and like they were over, and we got home earlier than expected. So then like we go in, and I thought it was just like some other relatives, you know, like because they're brown, we're brown, we're in
Yeah.
India. Oh my God, they must be hanging out. So we go there, and it's just quiet. It was quiet. There was like nothing happening.
It's awkward.
Yeah, and it was just so awkward. And I'm like, well, you know, it's not as hot as it was yesterday. And I'm trying to make some kind of conversation. I keep getting eyes from my like sister-in-law. Like,
Don't bring up the weather. Don't bring it up.
talk.
Honestly,
Yeah, don't
still
say
safer than
anything.
most first dates I go on. Like,
Yeah.
still better, less
Same
awkward.
conversation topic.
Yeah,
God.
more people to talk to.
Yeah.
Um,
And they come, they eat, And that's it. That like I'm sure there's like a scam somewhere where you just like go to people's houses as and you just eat.
That's like the joke of like girls going out and like getting food and like not
free dinners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah. So guys these days think that women are using these apps to get free dinners, which a lot of them are. You dumb
I've
hoes.
heard.
Wait, are you calling women dumb hoes for getting free food?
No, but it's like,
are you kidding me?
No.
Yeah, bitch, get that money.
No, but it's also like you're ruining it for the rest of us who can afford our own meals.
I'm honestly not going to blame women for the situation that's happening right now. I feel like men have pulled enough shit that I'm like, yeah, get a meal or two.
I don't know.
Like
I feel like
hustle.
I just hate everyone. No,
it.
I hate everyone equally. I hate men and women. Men I hate more, but you know,
it comes out
by default. I know.
Yeah.
I just
but like if I go on a date with someone, I don't want her to be like men, and I'm like, well, I wasn't.
Yeah, you
Wait, what do you
can't
mean?
do man hating
Like,
on a date.
Yeah, you know, I'm like
I use it to weed out dudes, and it's like kind of worked. Because like if they can handle like my jokes about it on Twitter or like Instagram or whatever, then I'm like, oh, then they're not threatened by it. They don't feel like they're the ones that do that shit.
Right.
You
But
know,
those are jokes. So
you know what I love when a man admits on a date that men are horrible. I'm like, oh,
that's such a
okay.
turn on.
All right.
But it's also like
Ooh.
that fake male feminist shit. So it's like
No,
walk the line.
This is walking the line. So it's like if they say stuff like, oh, men are horrible. I'm sorry you have to deal with this. But then they also pay for the meal after. I'm like, okay.
So you do like getting the free meal?
No, because like I have like $40 of makeup on my face easily. You know,
That's what I'm saying. Like women have to pay for other shit.
Yeah.
So get that meal. We pay for like all of like there's the pink tax and the fucking tampons.
There's a lot of
healthcare.
Women, it's just more expensive being a woman in today's society. You know.
So
Is that a guy thing though? Like, did we make that happen?
Yes.
Well, because the women who take care of themselves more, they get more attention and they get the guy or the so it's.
But it's not even just like even basic like healthcare costs more for women, and that's like
No, I do agree. Like condoms, for instance, condoms are free, but tampons you guys got to pay for. It doesn't make any sense.
And it's not even
it
like
doesn't
having sex is voluntary. Having a period
right,
is not like it's not even the same.
Exactly,
it's ridiculous.
Exactly, absolutely.
And then aren't they were like in fucking
and we have to pay tax.
in Bumblefuck nowhere, I don't know, like one of the Midwestern states or something, there was like they're trying to pass congressmen are trying to pass a fucking bill where they tax tampons more so that women don't use too many. Because we love just shoving tampons up there for fun.
I like to do
it's like
for fun.
You know, it's like a Tuesday afternoon.
There's an Indian movie called Padman.
Really?
Padman?
Yeah, with Akshay Kumar. It's actually really good because it's a true story about the guy who
Kumar selling pads. Like what's happening?
Yeah, he's playing
Robin Hooding them.
It's a real story of this guy who his like town, his gao, didn't have money, so like these women are just reusing clothing and cloths and shit.
That's awful.
So he's like, this is not right. He was
I
engineer
think I
major.
have heard of this
Yeah,
movie.
and like he made a tampon cheaper than anybody's ever made it, and actually got an award as for it as like the newest like innovation of
this
like
guy,
20.
the guy who Akshay Kumar played.
Got in real life got an award for the newest innovation of I forgot which year it was, 2012 maybe, but like so he makes them for like it's like 2 pennies.
That's
it comes
amazing.
out to like so then it's everywhere in the town, but like the whole story is about how it was so hard for him to do that because the women there found it so weird that he was trying to help them with this, and like they found it creepy, and like he was getting like shunned and kicked out of the town.
I could sense
and
how
then,
it's
like,
creepy.
And they make it looks like it's freaking creepy, but he's not trying to be creepy. He's trying to say, hey, use this thing, see if it works. And like.
But he also doesn't want blood everywhere, So maybe he's.
It's because he just gets married, and his wife has to like. That's the first time he really experiences it, because like up until then, his mom and his sisters, I guess, they would just sleep in the back.
From him, yeah.
They would just go sleep outside in the back.
Yeah.
It was freezing.
Jesus
and like,
Christ.
and until then she had to do it, and he was like, "Wait, this is what you guys have been doing? Like, this is."
See, that's very sweet. He was trying to make his wife's life easier,
and it's a true story.
Yeah.
But that's how the movies are being made now. So that's good that India's doing that kind of things.
Yeah, I feel like I could remember.
But it's totally worth it. Watch it.
Yeah,
where you
but
can't even talk about it.
Do we think of male gynecologists as creepy?
Well, it depends on if they're assaulting you or not.
No.
I like having a female gynecologist.
Same, me
I just
too.
prefer it.
That's so like less and less men. I wonder what the percentage is of how many male gynecologists there are.
I don't know. I just feel more comfortable with a male gynecologist or a female gynecologist and a female therapist. Just because of it's like you could call it like, you could call it like a safe space or whatever, but it's like I don't have to over explain things.
Yeah.
Like you get it. with me not.
I'd rather, this does not compare at all to what you guys are experiencing or anything, but I'd rather have a guy cut my hair than a girl cut my hair.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I get
don't know
that.
what it is.
I get that.
So just from all the times I've gotten haircuts by like chicks versus guys, I see the difference. I like the guys better.
I also like female photographers because they pay attention to like where your strands of hair are and like what angle and like
this
women.
above all else. This is what I've learned in Hollywood. Women go find other women photographers to take your picture
like
because
your makeup.
they always get it right, because every time, and not to knock the male photographers, the pictures have come out good, but with the female photographers, more of the pictures come out good because they're able to pay attention to flyaways and like random details.
That's
guys
something that we
looking
may
at.
not even know about is a thing. You know?
But it's like as a photographer, if that's your job, then you have to pay attention to like, and it's something that I think men wouldn't know that women would feel self-conscious about or like, you know what I mean? So it's like with female photographers, I'm just like, oh, like they tell me to adjust my bra strap or to like my face is oily or something, like they're not afraid to do that.
Or they, what I've noticed with male photographers is that they're always looking to capture like the best lighting and stuff. Meanwhile, the lighting that they think looks best for that picture is also highlighting all my fine lines and wrinkles, which I'm not going to use that fucking picture for everything if everybody can see all my fine lines and wrinkles, right? So maybe like if you're going to make an artistic choice, make one that's going to be usable, right?
Right.
So,
I
and
guess,
a lot of,
that's
I've
true.
noticed that like there's a lot of male photographers that don't necessarily look at photography from the perspective of what their client wants. They look at it more of like
Artistic.
an art.
I'm a
Like,
genius.
Yeah, I'm an artistic genius. I'm like, no, bitch, I'm paying you.
Yeah.
I'm paying you to make me look
Headshots
good.
is a whole different thing,
Yeah.
like taking pictures of
Yeah.
people versus like things. Like I like taking pictures of things, right? Like people photos. I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I like taking pictures of animals.
Animals?
I used to be a photographer for like an animal rescue,
okay.
a dog rescue, and so I got really good at animals, and then I was like really bad at people still.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I can make you look cute and fuzzy.
Like I do like a lot of like landscape and stuff like that. Like because I travel to do stand up, so I go and I do photography everywhere I go, and but sometimes I'll get people who are like, "Can you do a wedding? Do you do weddings?" I'm like, I don't want to take that
It's
responsibility.
huge,
lot
and
of
you have to have like a
responsibility.
second photographer.
Yeah, that's
It's
a team.
And
that's
people have
insane.
opinions, and people are never happy.
They're never
you
gonna be
know?
happy.
Yeah,
No,
never,
no.
never, ever. Yeah.
That's how marriage starts. You're just never
They
gonna be
disagree
happy.
on the photos,
Yeah.
and it begins right there.
The guy's like, but the genius, and the girl's like,
Oh
but the
my
lighting.
God.
My hair.
I can't even tell you how many arguments I've witnessed and had to mediate with like my older cousins and stuff like that of like the wedding videos and
Yeah.
the wedding photographers.
I mean,
between both families.
We've also, for our facial rec pictures, we've like argued about which ones we're like,
I
I look
know.
terrible in this
It's
one.
the
And
worst.
then the other two are like, you look beautiful. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
you mean group? Like
done
in a
group-
group photo
yeah.
with women? Oh, my
it's
God,
the
no,
worst.
no.
There's no one is happy in a group photo.
This is why, like, in order to like humble myself, I will post bad pictures of myself every once in a while, just to be like, "This is what you look like, bitch. Calm down." Like, because I don't want to like. I think it's just not useful to like for us to argue all the time because we have a bunch of good pictures.
We do.
should post
It's
them.
fine. But
Yeah.
also it's like, we want more usable content. So I think now we know what angles work for everybody. And I think we also have like a list of photographers that we know we want to work with and stuff because
You can also individually take it and they can just crop it all in.
Yeah, it's just
If you
kind
got
of
a
it's just
solid
more
back-
like it's just more fun and cool to
Yeah,
like
that's
because we
different.
have like
Yeah,
a
that's
picture
different, right.
of us in saris under a table, like it's like we're hiding from a wedding, and that's like a moment that was like
that was
really
a
great.
really
capture.
fun.
That's fun.
Yeah, our shoots are fun because we all have like really fun together. But it's just like when you're doing it for a purpose of like we're gonna use this content to promote our business because at the end of the day it's a business.
Right.
So it's like we paid money for this content and it's we're not able to if the content for people forget that content is art, but content is also for
Costs
business
money.
and it costs money. So if it's not as cost effective if the
do
person behind the
individual,
camera
right.
is using it as art and the person in front of the in front of the
Yeah,
camera needs it
that's
for
And
their
then
business.
we all have different versions of like what we like.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know each other when we like as well when we did the photo shoot, and now we were like, oh, like you like these types of pictures, you like being positioned this way.
How did you guys all get to doing this? Who started it?
Fizza created the meme that
Fizza created the meme. So Fizza and I were at an open mic. We were just like, what the fuck? Why can't people tell us apart?
Yeah.
And we were complaining about it one night. And I'm like, I want to just like post like, hey, these are all the people I'm not. And then she went ahead and she like went one step and did the meme. And I'm like, this is fantastic. I'm so glad you did this.
That's
and then the meme went viral and Pallavi's face was on the meme. And then we all just got together and
How did all of you end up like going in like Suba and all of you?
So
like,
the three of us, Fizzazar and I, produce the show and the podcast, and then we book everybody else. So like Suba, Kieran, Monrock, like all of those people in New York, LA, SF, everywhere we've been, we book them to do the show.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, since there aren't that many of us, like, luckily the list is growing because there's a lot of women and
Getting a lot of new submissions.
like submitting and like
Exciting.
new, like, Desi women, South Asian women starting comedy and stuff.
Right.
But we have a good roster of like 20 women that kill it and are very reliable and dependable, can do a lot of time.
These are lineups I'm very excited
And
about.
the lineups are great. Like, Suba Agarwal is on a lot of our shows. Monrock.
Suba's phenomenal.
Yeah, Kiran Dole. Like, there's a lot of comics. Shanti Charan, Megan Dorsey. Like, there's a lot of women that are just phenomenal.
Both of them are Chicago comics.
Yeah, it's the Chicago
Shanti
comics.
is?
No,
Sonal.
Meg-
Sonal is, and
Agarwal,
then
yeah.
Meg.
Yeah,
both of them.
I
Yeah.
met Sonal in New York.
They did a podcast, both of them, for a little bit.
Ronnie Radio or something.
Yeah,
That's what they
yeah,
call
yeah,
it. Yeah, I'm a
Ron-
fan.
yeah,
That's
Ronnie
cute. I'm a
Radio.
fan.
That's awesome.
But yeah, there's just so much good talent, and I feel like this has been great for us because we get to meet everyone and like really lift each other up and showcase like, hey, like South Asian women are funny as fuck and talented.
No, do you guys base it on, they're Desi and they're a stand-up comic, and or do you go, okay, let's see her work first?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like,
we
you
care
gotta be
about
funny.
talent first.
No.
People submit
Funny.
and we don't book them.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
but
okay.
it's
We just
or we wait. Like sometimes
wait,
we get
yeah.
a lot of new people and we're like, this is great. Maybe we'll give you a guest spot. But like we want the show to be killer. Like we're
Yeah.
doing like New York Comedy Fest and SF Sketch Fest.
Right.
Like we want
Yeah.
the show to be good.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So like we get a list
we
of
do
like
corporate gigs. I mean, there's
colleges.
we do colleges, so it's like you got to be able to do
clean too.
You got to be able to do time. You have to
Yeah,
be
you
able
gotta
to
know what you're doing up
You know,
there.
and then
Right.
there's some like everybody's gonna get on at some point. You know, like you're gonna be at some point, even if you just submitted and you started comedy 9 months ago. You're gonna get good at some point if you keep at it. And of course, we'd love to have you on our show, right? But all the women that have done our shows are legitimate,
Yeah.
amazing.
Killers.
They're
Yeah, for
very
sure.
talented,
For
very
sure.
talented. And that's because if we're putting on a show, we're not gonna put out crap, right?
Yeah.
So we don't want to put out
That's true.
mediocrity.
We've also had like comments on Instagram where people are like, "This is like a diversity show or something," and it's like, no, this is a show, but it just has people that you
Yeah.
wouldn't normally see together. Like that's it. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Joe Rogan's show is kind of all white
All
guys.
white dudes, right?
Let's
Yeah,
be
how
real
is it
here. You know,
different?
sometimes it switches up. Don't get me, I love his podcast though, but yeah, it's pretty much
I love
all.
I have
pretty
a
much
whole
all.
joke about the podcast.
Okay.
Where like
Are you gonna do it tonight?
dudes
At
all
Laugh
sound. I
Factory?
might do it tonight.
Okay.
I don't know. Dudes all sound really funny. No, dudes all sound really smart and articulate these days.
Oh, I saw them.
And then I hear it all word for word on the Joe Rogan
Yeah.
podcast.
No, I remember.
But
that.
it's true. I just like if you're repeating what you heard in a podcast, just
Make it be ours.
make it be ours, or
Make
just
it be
say
our
like, "Oh, I
podcast.
heard it on a podcast." So but I don't.
I like my favorite
Yeah.
thing is that like people reach out to us and they come to our shows there's South Asian stand-ups they're starting, but like it's kind of like a built-in network everywhere we go. It's like it's comforting. It's like cool. We like know people in every city now just through this show.
Yeah, and everybody knows about it too. Like when I bring it up, I don't think I've met any comic who didn't know about it.
That's
About
dope.
the podcast.
I think it's great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's great. Because we started this because the comedy community responded to that meme.
Yeah.
Kind of went. Everyone's
Okay.
like, "This should be a show," and we're like, "You know what? Let's
You know,
see what it looks like
I
as a
sent
show."
her this a picture the other day of this show called Bombshell, and it's like
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Oh yeah.
I remember I sent it in
she
our group
posted it.
text.
Yeah, and I was like, this looks like one of your guys' posters, but
It
the white
does.
version. They all look
Yeah.
the same, dude.
Bombshell. It's with
Charlize Theron, Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie, Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's basically our flyer, but
Yeah.
It's also like my Utah neighborhood. It's scary as fuck.
You're from Utah?
Yep.
Yeah, there's Daisy's in Utah?
Now there are.
Just her.
Just
No,
probably that's
now
it.
there are.
probably
There
in her
used to not
family.
be as many, but now there are a ton because all these tech companies bought up land in Utah. So now there are a bunch of like
techies.
techies out there too. So like I've said this a million times, but my parents can like watch Bollywood movies in the Cinemark now because they like show them there.
Moving up.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, it's cool. They like didn't have a Hindu temple before. It was like some dude's basement, and now it's like an actual temple.
Yeah.
But
I was in Utah actually a couple of weeks ago.
what did you do? Wise Guys?
I drove through
Oh, okay.
Utah.
That's everybody says they drive through Utah.
Yeah, I drove through Utah.
It's
man.
beautiful. I drove
I
through
stayed there
it.
for
Did you
the day.
drive from
Seems nice.
Chicago to
Yeah.
here this time?
Yeah,
You brought your car.
I've done
and
it every
everything?
time.
Oh my
so
God.
the first time when I moved in 2012, me and my mom drove down. She wanted me doing it alone, and that worked out because she has like insomnia and she's scared of trucks. So she drove the night, and I drove the day.
Damn.
We got here literally in a day and like
Your
a
mom
half.
loves
That's
you. See,
crazy.
this is the difference between Indian sons and Indian daughters and their relationship with their mothers. My mom would never in a million years
Yeah.
be in a car with me for
That is-
longer than 3 hours.
That is not true. My oldest sister, but she can like literally make a knife and stabs my death. And my mom would be like, "But did you see the knife?" Yeah, so like you
That's
can't
so
really
funny.
base
The
it on that.
engineering.
Yeah, yeah.
Your
She
mom's
made it
an
in 2 hours.
anomaly.
So you have an older sister and
Two
then
older sisters.
Two older
One's
sisters.
13 years older and one's 10 years older.
And
Oh,
the
so-
13-year-older is
Is the one?
favorite.
Yeah. Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
favorite.
First, it is so blatant.
Is she a doctor?
No.
What is
She works for the state of Illinois, just like my mom used to work for the state of Illinois. So because she has a government job,
Oh,
Government
okay.
job.
That's
Those are
what it
very
is.
important.
Stability.
Yes.
Working for the
Stability.
man.
yes.
She's gonna
And
get a
then your-
pension.
Yes.
You're all
second
great.
sister-
My other sister, she now so she used to work for this nonprofit for the longest time. It wasn't making her much, but like she loved doing it.
Yeah.
It was like this. That's
great.
Yeah, it's called Upnagar. So it's kind of like where women who are like
My house,
abused,
yeah.
would
The
be able to
domestic
go,
violence
domestic
shelter,
violence,
yeah.
and like
That's
that's where
great.
they would do the meetings of like the divorced parents, like if something
Oh,
happened, they
mediate.
But
they-
it's
that's
for
what
it's
they
for
would
Desi
do it.
women. It's South Asian.
Desi women,
'cause
yeah,
it's
South
called
Asian, but it wasn't-
Upnagar, which
yeah.
literally translates
To my
house, our
Yeah,
house.
Yeah.
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 So-
and so that's what she did for the longest time. Now she works for this company where they put up the satellites for all these 5G networks that are coming out now.
Oh,
so
dope.
she's kind of in charge of like where they're gonna go and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
So did you always know you were going to do stand-up?
I wasn't good at school, so this was pretty much it.
So, and your parents are chill with everything?
Yeah, because at this point, because I started at 16.
Oh, shit.
So like I was in high school.
Can I ask
when
how old you are?
30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even
so-
though he still looks 16.
Yeah.
If I shave, I'm like 9.
I'm like, are you even allowed to be in a Chase bank? Like, how did you get
Right?
there?
And the funny thing is, I used to work for Bank of America.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
This some Sprint Verizon shit. What the
But
fuck?
my direct deposit from Bank of America used to go to my Chase account.
Oh.
Because I never even banked with Bank of America when I worked there. But anyways, so like, so I started in high school, and they just thought it was like a thing. It's not a big, it's just something he's doing.
Like
kind of thing.
dance or Boy Scouts.
Yeah, and like my parents are like the chillest people on the planet, dude. They're
That's
so
dope.
awesome. And but yeah, so they saw it, and then they started seeing that like I was doing it a lot more. I was, people were starting to see it now.
Yeah.
And then when I moved back, like when I had to move out here, they were iffy. But then they started to see some progress.
Yeah.
And then when I moved back to Chicago, they were kind of like, oh, maybe he's gonna be over it, But then that's when things actually got better because I
Yeah,
booked like
'cause
the
you
movie.
booked the movie.
Yeah, I'm in a movie. I'm like,
Jada Pinkett Smith.
yeah, I'm on Chase Bank commercials. I was like the face of like CDW and Microsoft because they merged. And like, they're seeing it happen and
Yeah.
they're seeing the money. So they're like, okay, well, if the money's there,
That's what all parents
that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
They don't care until you're making money.
Straight A's and money. That's all they
Yeah.
care about.
Yeah.
You could be like a mass murder rapist or something and be like, but he has straight A's.
The
Made
knife.
the honor roll.
The knife, yeah. And like, so like that's like, I got lucky. I
Parents
guess,
are ride or
and,
die.
Yeah, my parents
Like,
are ride or
your
die
parents
for
are
sure.
an anomaly.
man.
Like they're
my parents are
they're
rare, dude.
supportive.
I-
They love their daughters.
I
Yeah.
feel
It's
kind
amazing.
of. I always kind of felt like I didn't have typical Indian parents either because my dad
Yeah.
is South Indian, my mom's North Indian, and then they're like liberal in like weird ways. Like
Oh,
they're
okay.
always like. They always wanted us to be like educated and independent, me especially. And then they were chill about who we dated. And I was like, yeah, I have like really strict Indian parents. Oh, isn't it hard, guys?
No, so in my family, my mom's side of the family, there's only 2 boys. It's me and one of my other cousins who's
Mm-hmm.
older. He graduated top 5 from Yale.
Okay.
And then there's me.
Yeah.
So
Bank,
yes,
dude.
so these 2 people I've been through a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bag.
Yeah, but like I remember the first time like when I actually went to Yale because I went down there in like 2015, and because we would go to New York all the time because my grandma used to live there, so we'd go there all the time. Like every summer, we'd be in New York. And like the last time when I went down, 2015, they were like, let's go see Uchit and like Yale, you know. So we're like, all right. So we made this road trip up there, you know. And I went to Yale, and it was the same week that I went to my first comedy club, which was Caroline's.
Nice.
And then I went to Dangerfield like the day after with my other cousin, you know, and they let us in somehow. I don't know how. I was 15. So I don't know how they let me in, but they let me in. They're like, "Oh, you're just gonna sit in the back. You can get a Coke." I was like, "Oh, that's fine," you know. And I got to sit back there. But my excitement of standing in line at Caroline's was way more than Yale. I didn't give a shit about Yale, dude. I just want to see that one Skull and Bones building, and that's really it. But there was nothing about school.
So were you a fan of comedy before? Like, did you watch a lot of stand-up comedy before you even got to Caroline's? So you knew how important Caroline's was.
Yes, I wanted to do it at 12. 12 was when I knew I wanted to do it, but I didn't. I would.
Were you the guy that was like cracking jokes in class and at family events?
Yeah, I would do Leno's like jokes. Like I think that's where I first learned how to do segues because I'd find a way to get this joke into whatever the teacher's talking about somehow, and like that's where like segues started. But I wanted to do it when I was 12, like junior high, and then when I got to freshman year of like of high school, I started this thing called comedy club. You know, there was after school clubs.
Oh yeah.
So I started comedy club.
So you started the after school comedy club.
Yeah. I convinced like two teachers, like it was just other kids there, and like I remember I made this like
it was
flyer.
like him and Dave Chappelle. And
Who else from that
Godfrey.
club? Is anyone else from that comedy club in high school?
Godfrey actually went to my high school.
Really?
Yeah, she went to Lane Tech. And like, so I like.
Was he in your comedy club?
No, he's way older than me.
Yeah, he's old.
But like,
okay, so
I started this thing, and like we would like watch like stand up, and we just talk about stand up. Like that was the thing, and like it was a great way to get us out of classes to like sign people out because like the club needs us to do photos.
You were a stand-up
and like
nerd.
and I used to get people out of class. It was great, and then like in case anybody wanted to do the talent show, which I didn't do because I bitched out.
No.
I was so scared. Like even the first time I went up, I didn't want to go up. Like I was just at this place called Pressure Cafe, which is still there, and I would go there to play pool, and
you were like a full-grown adult at 15. You're like smoking and playing pool and doing stand-up. I was like, what the fuck?
So like I'm at
Benjamin Buttoning.
Right, I'm going reverse. But like I'm at Pressure, and like I would go there and play pool, and I knew they did comedy in the front, and like TJ Miller was there once, you know, like it's a good room. And like, but I never went up. I would always just like bitch out, you know what I mean? And like, this one day I was there playing pool, and I came out to watch the show, and the whole place knew me. Like everyone working there, they all knew me.
They
like
knew that
my
you
picture
were
was on the
regular.
wall. Like
wait, really?
like the
you
people
were
that
regular?
work there. Yeah, I was a regular.
Okay,
like I've
got
opened the place, I've closed the place. The owner's like one of my like.
But you were just there playing pool the whole
playing
time.
pool.
Because you're a teenager. You're not.
Yeah.
Stuff,
I'm like
right?
15, 16. Right, I was 16, and so I'm out there, I'm watching it, and this comedian was on stage, Dave Odd. He was hosting, and then he brought up a comic, and he came to the back, and like I was talking to him by the counter, and I was like, oh, you know, I've always wanted to do it, you know, and like just scared, but like, you know, it seems so cool. You're so funny. He wasn't, but I was like, you're so funny. And then like, but it was just that night. Then he was good. But like, so then he goes, yeah, you should give it a try. And then the other comic got off. So he goes up there, and he's like, oh, give him a round of applause. He's like, all right, you guys want to see a random Indian kid perform?
Hey.
And I was like, oh shit. Like my heart was like, I was like, oh shit. So then he's like, what's your name? I'm like, Sonny. He's like, Sonny, give it up for Sonny. And I go up there, and it was so bad. The 3 minutes were so bad that at the end of it, I was just like, well, this is what I thought. And like everyone laughed, and I was like, hey, I gotta laugh. And then I went up the next week, and then the next week, and then just went from there. But yeah, I was like 16. That was the only one of the three places.
And that was like your home club where you started.
Yeah, it was a cafe.
Are they still there? Do they still do
Pressure's
comedy?
still there. Yeah, and like the owner, Wahib, he actually has another location now where he's opening a bigger stage portion in the back so that the comedy can be even better there.
So do they have like a signed autograph headshot of you
Yeah,
hanging on this cafe?
I wish. But like,
you should send them like an old like Chase print ad.
yeah, and sign it and put it on the wall.
Yeah.
Or it should be like a picture of you at 16. Like
I did my
like
first
your high
headshot
school,
there.
Your high school
You
yearbook.
did?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a photo, but like yeah, my first headshots are done there by
And
like
you
one of
look
the chicks
almost
that
exactly
work.
the same.
I think so. I had like we made it black and white, but I had like colored contacts.
What?
Like, yeah.
Oh, you were into colored contacts?
Everybody was
I
in
was into
2000,
colored
like
contacts.
I had
Yeah.
a bunch of cousins. My brother and I weren't never
was-
into them because we
I
were
was
like,
into
"What are you doing?"
Yeah,
Like, you're
2005,
trying to be white.
everybody was.
But like
Yeah.
all of my like cousins in New York and New Jersey.
Yeah, no, I
were, like,
remember
wearing
that was
colored
the thing that
contacts.
we were doing.
the
Yeah,
Indian
New York,
girls were
New
rocking
Jersey,
those purple
Chicago.
contacts, looking
was
like
crazy.
gargoyles.
No,
it was
I
crazy.
had like gray. They were like these like contacts that like went from like green to gray to brown or whatever. They like
What was that?
yeah. So like and also like I convinced my parents because my dad has that condition where like one eye is like hazel.
Heterochromia?
And, yeah,
Ooh,
and
that's
then
awesome.
another
I saw
eye
a dog
is
like
green.
that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half husky, half golden retriever.
Yeah.
Yeah, huskies have that.
So I convinced my dad. I'm like, Dad,
Oh
I
my
want to look like you.
Oh, cutie! I love dogs.
That's cute.
That's
That is
so
cute.
I don't know if you can see this guy.
I used to do
cute.
that shit with my contacts.
One
I would
and
put,
one?
like different
One and
color
one?
contacts in my eyes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were.
But that
I
was
wasn't
a
even
big
allowed
thing.
to have contacts until I was like.
Your parents were like, no?
I think we tried it in like 4th grade, and then like they decided they didn't want to have me wear them, and then like I don't think I had them until like late like high school or college.
I mean, fourth grade is
something.
kind of young.
Yeah, but I have
but-
glasses since I was like 2nd grade.
Oh.
Or like I think it was 4th grade. But like that was when all my cousins were like wearing they were like older than me, but they were all wearing like the colored contacts and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh my god.
First headshot.
What? Spike
How
hair.
handsome
That was-
Look at that
is
shit.
he?
You look older in this picture than you
Yeah,
do.
dude, right now, yeah, I know.
You look at I see.
Whoa,
This is-
scroll to the other one.
This one was my
Oh
other,
my
my
God,
next
look at
headshot. That was
this.
my actual like
Yo, look at this
comedy.
Salman Khan's little brother. This guy. This is. You look like Salman Khan's son in this picture.
Do
it's
I? I'll
very.
take it.
You're very You're very castable. This is why you're the face of Chase.
That was my from like when I was a teen, and like I needed a headshot because like Mary Lindsay at like Jokes and Notes, who's like my favorite person in the world, she was like, "You need a headshot." I was like, "Okay." So then that's
Is
like,
she the booker?
yeah, Mary Lindsay. She does everything. Like she started this comedy club in Chicago called All Jokes Aside back in
Oh,
like
I've
the
heard of that.
Yeah.
like mid '90s, and that's where like Bernie Mac came from.
Oh,
and,
she's like the OG.
Yeah, she started
Yeah,
that,
her
and that's
show.
where everyone started
She's
and
like
got
the Mitzi
big.
Shore of like Chicago.
Yeah, she's Mitzi Shore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Got it.
If she had a club and like had stayed consistent with it, she would have been like Mitzi Shore.
Yeah.
And like she she closed that one, and then she opened another club called Jokes and Notes, and that's really where I got to learn how to be a stand-up. You know, one, it was on the south side of Chicago, so it was all black show, all comics were black, the crowd's black, and it was
And this
different.
is why you're a crowd favorite at Chocolate Sundays. This guy
Yeah.
destroys it at Chocolate
Nice.
Sundays, which is the weekly.
It's probably one of the
show
best
at
shows
Laugh
at the
Factory.
Laugh Factory.
It's a black show.
It's the black show.
It's
Sunday
great.
nights at the Laugh Factory. It's always packed.
Always packed.
and
All
it's
through, like,
always like
there's
a
3
great
shows this
time.
last weekend.
Yeah.
Because it was Valentine's Day yesterday.
Yeah.
Valentine's week.
Valentine weekend.
boy,
You
it's
did
coming out, it's
it. You
coming
did it.
So
We all have that problem. The V
yeah.
and the W.
The Volkswagen is like
Yeah.
the kryptonite of
We
Indian
all
people.
have that
like,
problem. Yeah. Speaking of Valentine's Day, did you do anything?
I did not. I'm
'Cause
in
you're
Chicago.
here.
Yeah. And Sonna's in Chicago, so it's like a
So how's this long distance situation?
Ooh, you in a relationship?
yeah.
Bitch, why don't we start with that?
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
Sonna, like I've known her since we went to high school together. Me and her, we went to
She
Lane
is
Tech.
hot. I'm sorry, I just wanted to put
So
that out
true.
there.
So
Super
I have to
hot.
get on
true.
your Instagram.
Sana is
So
so,
true.
hot.
Yeah. She's a chef.
She's the personal
Private chef.
chef.
You're dating
A
a
private
fucking
chef.
chef?
Yeah,
Yes,
she's a
ma'am.
private chef.
Oh,
Like some.
That's my dream. Oh my
maybe I
god.
should get like a full photo
So
of her
hot.
versus this side pose, but like
This is beautiful.
Also, did you take these photos of
Yeah.
her? Can you please teach a master class to like
my
all
God,
the
I'm
significant
just- Yeah,
others
I-
and how
I
to
do
take
the-
There,
photos?
no dick.
I
She's
do,
beautiful.
I do this iPhone photography
Yo,
competition.
I swear to God. Okay.
Oh, you want to see a good one?
Every comedian, every male comedian I know has the hottest like.
Well, you got it. It's a requirement.
It's like a but that's something to say about your show. I mean, not that you're not an attractive guy, but like she's like really hot, right?
Yeah, she's like way out of my league.
Really hot.
Sorry, you.
It's funny because her mom
really
told her
hot.
her mom told her the opposite when she had told her about me and showed her like this photo, and she's like, "Oh, but he's so much better looking."
No.
She's still till this day.
Oh my God.
That's so
I'm pretty
shitty.
sure. So Indian moms, I think, have like a warped view of how their daughter is.
They're negging.
Like I'm pretty sure a lot of Indian moms think their daughters are shit, and their sons are on this like pedestal, and their sons are amazing.
Remember
I
one
got a
time
good
I was
example of
at
my
a
son.
family
Yeah.
wed or a friend friend of the family's wedding, and like I had just cut my hair short the first time, like before comedy, whatever, and like people were coming up to me and complimenting me on it. They were like, "Oh my god, I love your hair," and my mom was like not taking anything and was just like, "I told her not to cut it." I was like, "Did you hear anything?"
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I said it was good.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's a thing. Like every comedian I know has a really like hot wife, hot girlfriend, and I think it's because you're so charming.
I guess.
Comics are so fucking
It must be.
charming.
Goddamn
You got a
charming.
good-looking guy.
I know.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend's a good-looking, tall guy.
Yeah, I lucked out.
Yeah.
But I think it's
you
also
lucked out.
because I'm very charming when I want to be.
Yeah, it must be it.
He puts up with a lot of crap. He really does.
I don't know. Whoa, that's coronavirus right there.
Oh Jesus.
We're in Koreatown.
Yeah, you can't
It's
say that
fine.
when we're
Oh
in
my God.
Koreatown.
I think
my
that's
God.
exactly when you say it.
Nope.
That's
This message is not approved.
I have like
there is something going around in Los Angeles.
something.
so,
It's like
yeah.
they had a case.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have like a 2 sneeze limit. Anyone sneezes more than twice, I don't say bless you.
It's
Are you a
allergy
germaphobe?
season.
Are you germaphobe? No, you just take it. You resent them.
Yes. 2 sisters and a mom in the house. Things were everywhere. You should see the sink. It was like terrible. Like you couldn't. I wasn't allowed to be a germaphobe in that house. Like things were just everywhere.
What do you mean, like hair?
Hair,
Products?
makeup.
Okay.
I don't even know what color the sink actually was. Like it may have been white.
It's like
I
a
don't know.
painter's sink.
Yeah, yeah.
with,
It was like
splotches
yeah.
of things
Yeah.
everywhere.
That's what it was.
You're washing out
Listen,
brushes
we
just
can't
to brush
help
your
it.
teeth.
We have
Yeah.
a lot of things.
I get it. I get it. Meanwhile, I had like 4 things. I still have 4 things. Some
Yeah, but
has
that's
her own
your
bathroom.
choice.
See,
Yeah.
that's how you survive in a relationship.
Yeah, we have a 2-bathroom
Yes,
place
you
because
need
you
2
need
bathrooms.
to. You need to. Why not? Yeah.
If you can have 2 bathrooms, you should. If you can have 2 closets, you should.
I
You
feel
can
like
have 2 kitchens. You should.
she's a chef. I'm just letting
I
her
feel
have
like
her
her and I
kitchen.
need 2 kitchens.
Do you
sometimes.
have you ever like has she ever been upset with like how you've reacted to a dish or if you've like gone in the kitchen and messed anything up?
She's pretty open to like suggestions so that she knows what to fix or
Okay.
like
You're her open mic.
yeah exactly. I'm the guinea pig exactly. But like she kills it every time. I could give her
How
some.
are you not fat?
Yeah.
I don't know. She's not either.
You're dating a chef.
You're
How-
like
Neither of us
there
are.
was a look of genuine concern on your face. Like
Yeah.
I haven't figured it out yet.
Oh, I
get
don't
it.
know.
It's like
She must cook healthy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
no, not at all.
Like I don't
You
understand.
seem like you're worried for your future.
Yeah.
You
It's
have
'cause, you know-
diabetes on the inside.
How her schedules work
You
out.
always have diabetes on the inside.
It's gonna have all these McDonald's. I hate when people tell me
I
that.
hate when
like,
people have diabetes
eat
on the
McDonald's.
outside.
When I tell them about gaining weight and how hard it is, like just eat McDonald's. Like, yeah, I'm not trying to die faster in the process. I still can get a heart attack.
Gains.
But like, yeah, because she's at work all day. She doesn't want to cook when she comes home.
I was gonna ask, did
Oh.
she bring work home?
No. Well, so,
No
I mean,
leftovers?
sometimes she works for this billionaire family right now.
What?
So
Yeah.
like they have the freshest stuff, like the best ingredients that you can buy, best fish
have
or
their own
best
fucking
everything.
farm.
I'm just
So
trying to
she
score an
brings stuff home.
invitation to this wedding to see what billionaire show.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. But like
Are you engaged?
no.
Okay.
What's stopping
Dun,
you?
dun, dun.
Zara needs to know for her own
I need-
relationship.
need
What's
to
stopping
know.
me is
What are the thoughts?
she's got her shit all together,
Oh,
Yeah.
this
and
is
I
every
in
guy.
my career do not.
Every guy's like, I gotta get a thing before I can
So-
commit to a woman.
and isn't that something you would think chicks would find admiring? Like, okay, he wants to be somewhere so he can provide and be,
But then the alternative is that if the other option is that you just wait until you get to that position, which wastes her time.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a thing of
Yeah.
like we're either in this or we're not through
Yeah.
good and bad.
yeah. So I
right?
have this
So
year
it's like,
to make some shit happen.
But it's
Okay.
like from her perspective, I don't know if about her, but like from a perspective that I've seen is like sometimes women see that as like an excuse or that it's like it's just a hold up because there's always going to be good times and bad times, especially in this career.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
know,
like, do you love me now and forever or not?
my dad actually, when my parents got married, my dad didn't have a job, and my mom did.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what her dad, my grandfather, said was he doesn't have a job now, but it doesn't mean he's not going to have a job later.
Yeah.
He could have a job right now. Doesn't mean he's going to have that job later.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Life
your
is full of
grandfather was
uncertainty.
very understanding.
Yes. So he was
Yeah.
down with, they weren't a love marriage. It was like arranged
They
because
were
the families were friends.
Yeah.
For a
Oh,
while.
interesting.
Yeah. So my parents knew each other like their
So-
whole life, but it wasn't
So
awkward for them.
the parents all arranged their daughter to marry
Well,
an
it was still a
unemployed man.
suggestion. It was still a suggestion to the both
Yeah,
of them. Be like,
yeah.
was
That
this
was-
something you guys would like?
That was
Yeah.
their parents' way of telling their daughter that she's not as attractive as the man.
Which my mom looks
Which
way
all goes
better.
back to, no, I'm kidding.
My dad is actually a really good looking guy, but I look like my mom. Sometimes it's freaky. Like I'll go home back to Chicago after like 2 months or 3 months, and she'll open the door. I'm like, oh, is that me?
A lot of boys look like their moms.
I think
it's a thing.
Yeah,
And a lot of
not
girls
with the girl,
look like
it worked out for him.
I mean, I don't know.
I think I look like my mom.
I look like my dad. But my dad's a very pretty
guy.
He was a very pretty guy. Yeah.
Which by logic, then my mom's a really handsome woman.
Hey, you're a pretty guy.
I guess.
Yeah.
I get called that often. Someone told me that yesterday at the haha. It's just a strange comment that I don't know what to like. I'm not insulted by it. I have no idea how to react to this.
Here's how I view it. I could easily see you in a boy band.
Yeah.
That's how I feel
You're
about
very-
it. You could totally be in a boy band.
Yeah.
I can't sing.
But that,
Yeah,
you don't need
you
that
don't
to be in a
need to
boy
sing.
band.
Right.
How many people in boy bands can sing?
on,
Yeah.
have you
1/5 of them.
In sync, there was JC and Justin could sing.
1 to 2/5 of them can sing.
Right.
The
The
rest of them
Backstreet Boys,
dancing,
The
talking,
Backstreet Boys
talking
is the
low.
only boy band where all
All
5
the-
of them could sing,
and
and that's
dance.
why they withstood the test of time. And I'm not going to say any more on the
Oh
subject.
boy, it's coming out. It's all coming out from high school right here.
I don't know about Howie.
Do you have a
he was-
poster?
no.
Do you have a Backstreet Boys poster?
Of course.
Me too.
Yes, I had
I was a
several.
Backstreet Boys girl.
So I was such a fan that that my younger brother is a fan.
Oh,
Yeah. Because like
Okay,
I went away to college and I left a lot of my Backstreet Boys paraphernalia back in my room. And then he just became a fan.
inherited it?
He inherited all of it,
That's
and
like-
he just went into my room, and then he became a Backstreet Boys fan. So now in every family wedding, this is like we're just a Backstreet Boys family. So people sing "I Want It That Way" literally every family wedding. That's like part of what we do. I don't know how it became that way.
hopefully
It's
they
like
see this.
I inherited
Yeah.
my brother's love of Metallica. It's the problem when you have an older brother.
No, Metallica had some hits though.
They did.
My sisters
Yeah.
were into like Indian music, so and my parents were too. So that when I grew up, that's really what was around.
Indian
and like,
music?
yeah, Indian music, like in the house. Like obviously when I went to school and whatnot.
So do you
like,
ever
when I
sing
got in
like
charge.
old Bollywood songs to?
Oh, I love
Sana?
it. I'm a huge
You serenade her
Indian movie
sometimes?
buff and song buff. Like I don't forget lyrics, so it's like the strangest thing when people meet me
You'll
when I go to
sing
India.
things from like DDLJ.
Oh, way past that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Black and white.
black and white.
Oh,
old
shit.
school.
Yeah.
Like pre-Sholay.
Amitabh.
Like
Pre-Sholay, yeah.
Amitabh's after black and white, but before
Yeah,
Amitabh.
yeah, Devan and stuff. And, like,
Interesting.
yeah.
What a dreamy dude.
Isn't it great that like we grew up in the 90s where like hip hop was so heavily influenced by like Bollywood sounds?
Oh yeah, like at some.
It was like fun.
Yeah.
Like
Do you
when you heard
remember
like
the-
Hot the Mujiko and like a
Yeah,
Missy
yeah,
Elliott
yeah.
song and you're
Yeah.
like, shit.
Do you remember the
cool.
"I Love My Indian Flute"?
Yeah.
I love my Indian flute.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, so my dad, like before we go, my dad had this like he heard 50 Cent song with the Indian beat.
Yeah.
Fuck, I just had it when I started this, and I just missed it. But like Big Pimpin'.
Yeah.
Big Pimpin'. Yeah. So like he liked the tune, and for some reason
That's
like
Jay-Z.
That's Jay-Z,
Big Pimpin'
yeah.
is Jay-Z.
oh it was no 50 Cent was the.
I know what you're talking about. I can't pull it up right
Yes,
now, but yeah.
But like and like back then it was the flip phones that you had to kind of download the songs, kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
I downloaded it. I
The
put it on it so
Motorola's.
that I can put it on every song. The Razor he had,
Yeah.
and I put it on every song so you can hear it. You kind of liked it because it was just the beginning half
Yeah.
of it, and like anyway. So he goes to work. I forgot to change the thing. So he goes to work and his phone goes off and it's playing Big Pimpin'. And the black chicks at City Hall where he worked fucking rolled. They were like on the floor. So he comes home. He goes,
So cool.
what does this mean? I was like, nothing. Like, it's just music. It doesn't mean anything. And they're like, no. They were laughing a lot. And I was like, oh, man.
That's so great. I love it. All right, I think we have to wrap
yeah,
up.
Sonny, where can our fans and friends find you?
I do a lot at the haha. I'm going to be doing Chocolate Sunday soon.
Nice.
Okay.
When?
Here in Hollywood?
Yeah, in the Hollywood Improv. And then when I go back to Chicago, I should be doing things at the Laugh Factory out there. But I'm always posting things.
Okay.
Nice. What's your Insta?
Socials?
Well, it's Sonny_Bhatt. BHATT.
And Sunny
Right.
spelled.
Sonny
S-O.
spelled SONNY. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I have to actually tell people that often. Because especially Indian people, when I say Sonny, and then they're just like, but that's Sony.
Yeah.
No. I'm like, SON is son, and NY is knee. So Sonny.
Sony. Bhatt, thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you. We are Facial Recognition Comedy. We have a show in New York on the 28th of February at New York Comedy Club. Please use the promo code FRC at checkout to save yourself money to get us money so we can get paid. And then our next monthly show, so that's 11:30 on the 28th at New York Comedy Club, Gramercy location. And then our next Sunday show at Westside Comedy Theater in Santa Monica, down here in Los Angeles, is March 8th, 9 p.m. We're going to have dope lineups for both of those shows, so come through. That's Facial Recognition Comedy on Instagram and Facebook, and Facial Rec Comedy on Twitter, facialrecognitioncomedy.com. I'm Pallavi Gunalan, PallavigunAlan. That's my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, and my website.
And I'm Zara Ali. I'm really Zara on all the socials. Zara is spelled Zahra.
We're missing our fearless leader, Fizza, and she's FIZAADOSANI everywhere. Do you have any last words?
No, this was...
Words of wisdom.
Keep listening to this podcast.
Closing
This
thoughts?
was fun. Like, it feels like an hour. It didn't feel like an hour, but it went by.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
Take care, guys.
Go look out for Sonny, everybody. Bye.